Leash letting it fly. That's good.
That went on the offensive end. Davis, yes!
Mono Vampire Basketball Club and the Kuala Lumpur Dragons score victories as they both repeat against the Singapore Slingers and San Miguel a la Pilipinas. We break down those games here on this brand new episode of ABL Recap.
Subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified of the latest videos of the ABL. Follow all of our social media accounts and visit our website for more updates.
We thank you for joining us for this episode of ABL Recap. My name is Carlo Pamintuan alongside Dio Sarmenta. And in our first game of our doubleheader, Mono Vampire Basketball Club with a double-digit victory against the Singapore Slingers, 87-77. It was a little bit more comfortable than how they won their first matchup, which they ended with a 2-point win, as Mono Vampire had 5 players in double digits. Still no Preston Knowles, but it does not seem to bother this team as much.
Well, the start was critical for Mono Vampire in this one. They started the game 12-0.
Yep.
And that's what you need when you go up against a team like the Slingers, who love to put opponents into defensive struggles. And that 12-0 start really paved the way for that big win. They led by as much as 21 points. And you're right, no Preston Knowles, still no problem. And Mono has that luxury to have their world import on the bench.
You know, another accolade that was added into Tyler Lamb's ABL career was that he became the player with the most three-point conversions in ABL history, dislodging Wong Wei Long. And just, can you talk about the importance of having Tyler Lamb, not just as a player, but as a local for Mono Vampire? It just elevates his importance even more.
Well, first of all, it's kind of ironic that he did it against Singapore Slingers, which Wong Wei Long had his majority of his career. But to your point, Tyler Lamb as a local brings a different dimension. He started as local since last year, and since then, he's been a solid contributor. I think he loves the opportunity that the defenses aren't just focused on him. The defense have to figure out 3 world imports at a time. And, you know, since the pressure is off, he's just playing his game and simply enjoying the game and doing what he can, whether it's 3 points, steals, whatever the team needs. Yeah.
In terms of sheer size, I don't think Mono Vampire is one of the bigger teams in the ABL. However, they found a way to minimize the output of Anthony McLean and Delvin Go in this ball game, as the Singapore Slingers just could not involve their big men in their offense. How important are McLean and Delvin Go to making sure that everyone else will have an easier time in scoring against the Mono Vampire defense?
The Slingers came into this ball game as the best rebounding team in the league. They average about 42 a game, 42.7, and they're coming off a 62 rebound performance against, I believe, the Dragons. And I think Coach Andre Ulip and the Mono Vampire really had their game plan in putting their clamps down against Delvin Go and Anthony McLean. In terms of rebounding, I think that was crucial, and it's no wonder that Mono won the rebounding battle 45-41. And you take out McLean, you take out Delvin Go, and pretty much the size differential wouldn't matter anymore.
9 shots combined only for Delvin Go and Anthony McLean, and that was why the defense was also so focused on Xavier Alexander, on Marcus Elliott as well, forcing them to a bit of troubles in terms of their field goal shooting. Because when you do not have to worry about the big man hurting you inside, you have more attention to pay to those wing players.
I think for the Slingers, it goes back to the original problem at the start of the season, when you have two former MVPs in Alexander and Elliott and a dominating big man like Anthony McLean. The next question is, who will step up as the local? And that question should fall upon Delvin Go or Leon Kwek, actually. Yep. And today, both Leon Kwek and Delvin Go combined for just 6 points, 3 points each. And that will not get Singapore the win, especially if you go up against Mono Vampire.
Mono Vampire now 12-4, still the number 1 team in the league. Singapore Slingers falling down below 500 at 7-8. Now the second game of our doubleheader featured a rematch between the Kuala Lumpur Dragons and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Unfortunately for Alab, their returning import Justin Brownlee, who won a championship with them a couple of seasons ago, was not available for this particular ball game, and it just gave the Kuala Lumpur Dragons even more confidence, because Alab is a team that they already handled before, and they handled fairly easily a couple of weeks back, and now you're taking on them without one of their world imports. KL looked good because of Will Artino. He is already the reigning player of the week. I think he wants another award this week.
Will Artino scored 29 points, 10 rebounds. Kate Davis went 26 and 10. But you're right, the confidence was brimming for the Dragons right from the start. And in contrast, the confidence was lacking for Alab Pilipinas, because I think they really were hoping that Justin Brownlee was going to join them.
Yeah.
Even in practices, they were really waiting for Justin Brownlee. And when he didn't arrive, and the Dragons took full advantage of that absence.
I think the tough part here is that Alab could not look to Justin Brownlee as their savior, because we all know his talent. We all know that he just wins ball games, but they will have to sort things themselves and figure things out, especially on the defensive end, before even involving Justin Brownlee, as the Kuala Lumpur Dragons picked up a 92-80 victory. It was a shootout between Kate Davis and Jordan Heading, both players scoring 26 points, Davis having 6 triples, Heading having 8 3-point shots, but it's unfortunate that his ABL career high is wasted in this loss.
Well, you take the good with the bad if you're Alab Pilipinas. Even though Justin Brownlee wasn't there, you have to be happy, I guess, with Heading scoring that many points. And at the same time, you got to look at it with a grain of salt. Is Heading going to put up those numbers when Brownlee comes in? And I think overall, Alab Pilipinas has that luxury to they have the luxury to keep on exploring, because they have 9 wins already. And if you look at the team standings, everything's locked up. So if you're Alab, we've got 9 wins, 6 losses. We have time. We have the luxury of that time.
Nervous moments as well for Alab Pilipinas, because Andre Caracot and even Jeremiah Gray and Nick King all suffered some sorts of injuries in this particular contest. Our final topic for this discussion, Sam Deguara. In 2 games against the Kuala Lumpur Dragons, in the first game, he had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 turnovers in 20 minutes. Here in game 2, performed even worse. Only 4 points, 8 rebounds, 3 turnovers in 14 and a half minutes. So if you do the math, 14 and a half minutes, that means there was about 25 minutes that Coach Jimmy Alapag could only afford to put in 1 import in Nick King because of the absence of Justin Brownlee, a 3rd import for Alab. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have all 3 imports playing about 30 minutes for the Kuala Lumpur Dragons. That was, something that was very difficult to bounce back from for the Philippine side.
I think the Dragons have Sam Deguara's number.
Yeah, for sure.
In 2 games. And, the Dragons are the #1 defensive team in the league in terms of points. They hold opponents to less than 80 points. And a big factor of that is they're very good with talking to each other on defense, especially with guarding big men. They can guard big guys like Deguara, Anthony McLean, or Chuck Garcia, or Maxi Esho. I think those guys really do a good job in communicating in the paint. So that's why Deguara's really had a hard time with the Dragons.
And my oh my, Will Artino is a matchup nightmare so far for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Moving on now to our next set of games, as we have the Kuala Lumpur Dragons once again facing off against the Singapore Slingers and the Saigon Heat visiting the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Those 2 games will be coming at you this Sunday, still here on the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. We thank you for hanging out with us here on ABL Recap. For Yo Sarmenta, my name is Carlo Pamintuan. See you again on Sunday.